Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Inside the Booth. I am your host, Dan the Law. Also, we are talking tonight about the King of Kings. Oh, happy Easter, by the way. And the final inquiry. Both are Jesus films. Obviously Easter time just passed. How was your Easter? Easter was good for me, and my family was. We did something different than we usually do. We did a little bit more family stuff on Saturday instead of Sunday. We did more of the, just the regular immediate family on Sunday, but extended family on Saturday. If you don't know, Saturday we celebrated Easter, pretty much. The Bible says, don't esteem one day from the next. I know that Sunday was Resurrection Sunday, Easter Sunday, that's the day. That's the day we look forward to. But we spent family time on Saturday. So we saw the movie King of Kings on Saturday, and then we went and had dinner with family and had a good time. So tonight I am reviewing the movie King of Kings. Is going to be the first session. Is the first session is King of Kings. For those of you who are just now watching, it is going to be a 2-for-1 tonight, a back-to-back, 2 movies, reviewing 2 movies, kind of in short, short review and another short review, kind of short, not terribly short. Hopefully be done before an hour. Depends on how much talking I want to do. So a 2-for-1 tonight, everybody. A 2-for tonight. King of Kings is the first movie, and the second movie is the Final Inquiry, which was filmed in 2006. And King of Kings was just released, a couple weeks ago. So there we go. I guess let's get into it. I don't have any trailers to show. I hope that's okay. Hope you don't mind. All right. So, King of Kings. The plot is very simple. It's about the death and resurrection of Jesus. And the way they tell the story is through Charles Dickens, Charlie Dickens' eyes. He did write a story called The Life of Our Lord, which is about Jesus. During the years of 1846 and 1849, and he wrote that for his kids. Just about when he was completing David Copperfield. So in this charming retelling of the life of Jesus Christ, called The Life of Our Lord, adapted the Gospel of St. Luke, Dickens hoped to teach his young children about religion and faith. So that is... Oh, hi, Mom. How are you? Thank you for joining. So that is what the King of Kings was written about Jesus, but it was also the movie of like Charles Dickens' writing of The Life of Our Lord. And the way there is going to be spoilers, everybody. Spoiler warning for this movie. If you didn't read the book yet, and the book, I mean the Bible, then sorry for spoiling the movie. Um, anyways, so this movie comes across as Charles Dickens telling the story to his children, or his one child who is a rambunctious child and needs to learn to be humble and needs to learn forgiveness. And Charles Dickens also needs to learn forgiveness. So, let's see here. It starts off where Charles Dickens is doing a one-man play of the Christmas Carol. And to be honest, I liked how they did the beginning of like the Christmas Carol thing. This company that did this movie could do a Christmas Carol movie, and it would be good. We do have many renditions of the Christmas Carol, so we really don't need another one, but it would still be good. Their art style is different. If you did not see the movie, it's different, but yet it's good. You know, it's very good. I enjoyed the art style. And obviously the movie is about Jesus, so that's the plot of the movie. It's about Jesus. I know, kind of dumb, kind of goofy. So King of Kings, about Jesus. Good plot, where he talks to his kid, and his child makes himself feel like he is a part of the story, so you see him in the scenes. I don't have any pictures of that, but like when Charles Dickens was telling the story, his kid was like being a part of it too a little bit, and it was cute. It was good. So we're hitting up with the plot tonight. The plot of the movie. It was a good movie. I like the plot. It was very well. I'll give it a point. Next is the acting of this movie. It's going to be a short, isn't it? All right, so the acting, obviously, it's voice acting, and you know, a lot of good actors. You got Oscar Isaac as Jesus, as the guy voicing Jesus. You got Pierce Brosnan as the man voicing Pontius Pilate. It's really good. Roman Griffin Davis is Walter Dickens, is the little kid who's the bratty kid. Very interesting. This might be a little controversial for some people, but King Herod is voiced by none other than Mark Hamill. I want to say the woke Mark Hamill, but I haven't heard from him in a long time. Maybe he just is learning to keep quiet about his politics. But very surprising that he did this movie. I'm not saying that he doesn't have any like faith in his life, but at the same time, the way he used to talk. Lovett, what's up? How you doing, Lovett? Reviewing, just to let you know, Lovett, I am reviewing The King of Kings tonight. A story told by Charles Dickens. And it is because Charles Dickens did write a story about Jesus for his kids. It's kind of like based on the real thing. But he didn't call it King of Kings. He called it the Life of Our Lord. So just letting you know. So yeah, the good old Mark Hamill is the voice of King Herod, and he does a good job. He really does do a good job. And as much as I don't want to watch Mark Hamill's stuff anymore, he's still kind of he's a good voice actor. Obviously he's Luke Skywalker, and I guess I'll never stop watching that. But it's, it's interesting. I hope he repents from his sins and asks Jesus into his life. You'll be listening? All right, thank you. You can just listen now. When I show pictures, you don't have to look at them. But then you got Kenneth Barga. I can't even say his last name, but he's Charles Dickens. Ben Kingsley is High Priest. Whoever. Got Uma Thurman as Catherine Dickens. Uma Thurman's a good actress. Forrest Whitaker as Peter. Jim Cummins as the Pharisee. You got Vanessa Marshall as Mary of Bethany. Dee Bradley as the cat. Well, I guess the cat really doesn't talk, so you can't really tell whose voice it is, which is kind of goofy. So that's it. That's the acting. Pierce Brosnan, Oscar Isaac, Mark Hamill. I mean, it's pretty. Uma Thurman. It's pretty good. The voice acting is pretty well done. And they did a decent job. It's not like they like did it for a paycheck or anything. It's the story of it's the storytelling of Jesus. They even advertise for it, so kind of tells me that either they're way too old and over the top and don't get jobs, or they wanted to do this. Let's hope they wanted to do it. So yeah, I'll give the acting a point. Next is cinematography. Now, I did show some pictures. The cinematography and the cartooning or the 3D modeling of this movie, I believe, was well done. It's really cool. I stole this picture too. It says official trailer, Angel Studios. So it's Angel Studios. But I thought it was a cool picture. And they did a good job with like the camera angles. Almost like it was almost like a real movie. So I enjoyed it. I especially enjoyed the part where he names off all the disciples of Jesus, Jesus and then the disciples. You start seeing it in like Jerusalem, and then all of a sudden they're on the dinner table or something, and you see all the guys standing on the dinner table and moving around, and the kids looking at them, and the dad's pointing them out and reading, telling them the names. So it was cool. I enjoyed that. That was cool. So I'll give cinematography a point. The music, the score of the movie, it was well done. I don't remember who did the orchestra or whatever, who did the music. I'm not going to look because it'll take up too much time, but the music was well done. It fit in each scene and really brought your attention to the movie, especially in the sad parts. Obviously, when Jesus gets nailed on the cross and he's hanging there and he's saying it is finished or it is accomplished. However, I forget how he says it. It's very sad, and the kid is kind of crying about it and wondering why they're against Jesus and stuff like that. And, Charles Dickens has to tell his son why. And, it was very moving, very touching. The music helps with it. So I will give the music a point. on this. Next is the allegory. Now, you would think because it's a movie about Jesus, there is no allegory. So it shouldn't get a point, or it should get a point, whatever your thoughts are. But there is a little bit of an allegory in here, because it's not just about Jesus. It's about this bratty little kid who thinks he knows better and he can do whatever he wants. And then all of a sudden, sounds like a good movie. Yes, it's a very good movie. But my 13-year-old said it's a kid's movie. It's a child's movie, and it is a kid's movie, and it's very kid-like. But you know what? It's a moving kids movie. You know, they do show, Jesus dying on the cross and stuff. So it's not like they took away from anything. But yeah, for the allegory, the little kid is bratty and he wants what he wants, and and the dad too. The dad, Charles Dickens, he gets angry, and and they both in the end learn forgiveness, kindness, and humbleness, and just being better as a person. Like, the dad's a better dad. The kid now understands that there's more to life than just being a hero of a story. So it's nice, it's moving, it's kind. So with that allegory, yes, I'll give it a point. So with this movie, the King of Kings got a whopping 5 points out of 5. Woo! Obviously, it is a kids movie, so it's good for the kids. If you do have a teenager, he might not like the movie because it's very kid-like. It's kiddish. I don't know if that's a word or how to explain a movie very kiddish. It is. Obviously, he was not entertained that much in the movie, but it is still a good movie. And hopefully, your kids will just sit and watch the movie and relax and enjoy it for what it is. There are some parts that could have been a little longer, but the movie is already an hour and 45 minutes. So I think that's why they kept it shorter. Because they miss a few parts of the Jesus parts and stuff like that. But it's okay because it's supposed to be like a short kids movie or something. It's still an hour and 45 minutes, which is not that short. But like I said, I did enjoy how they started the movie off with the end of A Christmas Carol, where he's, yelling about the what is it? The last ghost there of A Christmas Carol. And they did a good job with that. That was fun to watch. That was the first part. Obviously, the whole thing to me was fun to watch, but yeah. So Jesus gets a 5 out of 5, everybody. Perfect score. All right. Before we get into the next movie, like I said before in the beginning, this is a twofer. This is a back-to-back movie review. So I just reviewed King of Kings. Now I'm going to review another movie. But before we get into that other movie, let's get into a short commercial break.
What is this place? What is it that you do here? Merchandising. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money from the movie is made.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful, everybody. We have merchandise. We would love your support for this channel, because your support really does help us to go a little further in life. And plus, you get to watch me and some friends and us being goofy and laughing and being serious and it's a good podcast, I think. But if you do like what we do here, please check out insidetheboothtv.com/shop and get some merchandise. Not only does that help us get a little extra money, but it also, you can get a t-shirt, you can put it on, you can share, tell people about us. You can get a hoodie, you can get a neck gaiter, you can get a mug, you can drink out of it. So whatever you like, if you want a new t-shirt, go ahead and go into the shop and find a t-shirt to wear. We do have other stuff than just stuff that says Inside the Booth. We got other things too. You don't need just Inside the Booth stuff. And of course, we're hoping to make more t-shirts too as we go along in this life we call life, because people like other things besides just Inside the Booth things. So there you go. Yeah. Also, if you want to support this channel, you can become a Patreon member at patreon.com/insidetheboothtv, I think it is. You can also become a member here on YouTube. Does it give you perks? Not particularly gives you perks and you get to see cool stuff. It's more of just saying, hey, if God tugs on your heart and says, help them out. So if you want to help us out, go for it. If you don't, that's up to you. Pray about it. All right. Oh, yeah. By the way, the best way to support the channel, obviously, is to vanquish the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ding the bell for more notifications. Oh, yeah. Okay, next. Commercial break is over. Sorry. So next is The Final Inquiry. Now, when I put this thumbnail together, I wanted to make it look cooler than what it really is as a movie. Here's the cover. The Final Inquiry. Okay. Let's see here. The Final Inquiry. The Final Inquiry takes place in around 35 AD, kind of right after the death of Jesus. So a Roman tribune is sent to Palestine to investigate the death and possible resurrection of a certain Jesus from Nazareth. Yes, it's like an investigation. It's like what are those things called when you're those TV shows, and yeah, investigation shows, where they're investigating a death of somebody and trying to prove the death or trying to prove. So he's trying to prove that Jesus died and rose again from the dead. He's actually trying to prove that nobody in this world can raise from the dead. He's not alive. He's dead, and that's it. And where I'm going to find the body. And he goes about, and it's like what you think it is. He goes about looking. Obviously he finds true love. I don't know how you can find love in like a minute in a movie or something, but yeah. So this movie, the main character finds true love while he's investigating. He's a Roman centurion, Roman soldier, investigating the death and resurrection of Jesus. And on his way, he finds true love. He finds out that Jesus did die. He doesn't find out that he rose from the dead, but he doesn't know for sure if he rose from the dead or not. He does talk to some people. They tell him what they believe. They were there. He talks to like Peter and Paul and the Apostle Paul, things like that. Oh no, he meets the Apostle Paul before the Apostle Paul becomes Apostle Paul. He's Saul in the time of the making of this movie. So he's out, killing Christians. Yeah. So and then obviously in the end, his true love believes, and so he's like, okay, I believe too, type of thing. He sends it to the emperor, well, no, more so the governor first, Tiberius, the governor Tiberius. Emperor Pontius Pilate is in it, and I think the guy who plays Pontius Pilate in this movie of this 2006, forgot to tell you the year, 2006, The Final Inquiry. The guy who plays Pontius Pilate, I think, is the same guy who plays Pontius Pilate in Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ. I think it's the same guy. And in The Passion of the Christ, obviously, that was a good movie. That was made in 2004. And this is like, yeah, I'll get into that later. So, you know what? So for the plot of this movie, it's a good concept. I like the concept. The execution was horrible, but I do like the concept. So I'm going to give it a point for the concept and, the concept of the movie. The execution of the movie was terrible, but I'm going to give it a point for the plot. Next is the acting. So the acting of this movie, The Final Inquiry, the acting, you have someone who is famous right here, Dolph Lundgren. I don't know if I said his name properly, but he is in lots of movies in the 80s and 90s. I know these pictures are really terrible. I couldn't find good pictures of this movie on the internet. And this guy, Daniel Liotti, he must be Italian or something. He's the one who plays the Roman centurion guy who is the detective trying to find out about Jesus. And Monica Cruz is Tabitha, the girl that he finds along the way and falls in love with her. And along the way, because she is meant to marry a Pharisee, one of the other Pharisees, which is her father, this guy here, which is F. Murray Abraham, which he's in a lot of movies, and he's a good actor. And so he kind of hits his daughter over the head, this girl, and basically almost kills her. And then that's when this Roman guy goes out to find like the Peter and the disciples and try to get answers, so that because that's what she wants to know. Like I said, it's a good concept. It's a good plot. Very poorly executed, but good plot. Dolph Lundgren is the barbarian from Germania and he becomes kind of a slave to this Roman soldier. Not really, but he does. It's weird. And then you got Max von Sydow, this guy, and he is the emperor. He is Tiberius, the governor. And so there you have it. Those are the main actors of all this, and they're good actors, believe me. I've seen them in other movies, and they do a really good job in other movies. But this movie, really is, it feels like a 1992 movie, even though it was filmed in 2006. And it's not just the acting is terrible, because you could probably make this into a better movie with the acting that they do have, but it's not like the best. It's almost like one-liner stuff, like in the 90s. So I'm gonna put the acting to a half a point because there are good actors, but like I said, the execution is a little off. So yeah. So that's a half a point. So next is cinematography. And if you just saw the photos that I was sharing, besides the bad photos like this one, the cinematography is okay for the most part, but for a 2006 movie, the cameraman did not know what he was doing. Like, everything was too bright. Nothing was flat and fixed in post-production. Like in superhero movies, or like in The Passion of the Christ 2004 movie. It's like they tried making this movie a gladiator movie plus Passion of the Christ, mix it together and come up with something. They tried, but they failed. The cinematography is not epic. Like, the sets are okay. The sets are good. They're there. On what's it called? On location filming is there. It's good. But it's the camera work and the lighting is really bad. It makes it feel like a 1990s movie where the camera angles are bad, the lighting is bad. Not all 1990 movies are bad like that, but this is just one of those like lower budget type films. And it probably is a lower budget film, but at the same time, do better. Do try to do better, So, cinematography for this movie called The Final Inquiry gets a 0 points from me. 0 points for cinematography. Next is the music. The music of this movie. Now, the music to a movie is supposed to make it feel. You're supposed to feel like, the music should be there, and the music is supposed to up the game of the visuals. Unfortunately, even though it is kind of like epic type music or music from like, they try to copy, like I said, music from Gladiator, and they try to copy music from Passion of the Christ, and it's great. It's nice, but it does not fit. Hello, Mike Arena. But the music does not fit in this movie. It doesn't make things better. It actually kind of makes things, seem a little bit like, like yucky feeling or something. I don't know. If you could just take the music out of this movie and maybe try to redo some of the lighting or, in post-production, maybe you can make this movie a little better. But it just doesn't hit. It just doesn't hit. So the music to this movie does not get a point from me. Sorry, not sorry. All right, the allegory. The allegory of the movie. And yes, it's about Jesus, and it's about somebody finding their way to finding out who Christ is and what he does. It's not a strong allegory. An allegory is there because it is, about life, and it is about, Jesus in our life, but it's not strong. So I can't give it a full point. I don't know if I want to even give it a point, to be honest. Maybe a half a point, but not much more than that. So the allegory of this movie gets, gosh, it's no point. That's it. No point for me. And I'm sticking to my guns. So the final Inquiry movie gets a full 1.5 points out of 5, which is, it's not a terrible movie. If you ever have the chance to watch it, go ahead and watch it and let me know what you think of the movie down in the comment section down below. But it's not a movie that you're going to miss if you don't watch it. Does it go along with the whole resurrection and death of Jesus? Does it go along with Easter and the things of God? Yes, it does. Is it a great movie? No, it's not. Will you miss it if you don't see it? No, you won't. If you watch it, will you like it? Maybe. Some people like it, some people don't. I think it's a good concept. Like I said before, just the execution was really bad. So there is my 2 movie reviews. Go ahead and go see. I do recommend The King of Kings. Good movie. Excellent movie. Good animation. Good cinematography. Good voice acting. Go see that movie. The Final Inquiry, you can do or do without. It's okay. Thank you for, and I'm not trying to, and like I said, with The Final Inquiry, I'm not trying to knock everybody who worked on it, because I know everybody did a hard-working job, and they probably loved what they were doing. But there's some spots where you could tell where it's like, just wasn't connecting. Even like the actors, just the passion wasn't really there. So I don't know if they were doing it for a paycheck or if they were doing it like, let's hurry up and get it done and that's it, Yes, Lovett, thank you. And yeah, that's all I'm saying. Everybody did a good job with both movies. One movie is a better movie to watch than the other. Like I said, that's it tonight. 38 minutes and 34 seconds I was on here for. Reviewed 2 movies by myself tonight. I'm Dan Solo. Dan Solo tonight.
It's fantastic.
It is fantastic. Hold on, there was one that I...
So anyways, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. He's the best.
He's the best. Yes. Thank you, Lovett. Have a good night. Everybody out there, thank you for watching. Those of you who have watched from the beginning to the end, thank you for being here. Those of you who are going to watch this after the live show, thank you for watching it. Thank you again. I hope everybody had a great Easter. I know I did. And I hope to see everybody again next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to be on the review show next Tuesday, and we're going to have some fun guys on the review show. So come and watch it. We'll be talking about props and Star Wars and the new Star Wars movies that are coming out and all that stuff. Not movies, the show. Was it Andor 2 or something like that? So yeah, thanks everybody for being here. And I forgot to turn off the music once again. That's all right. God bless you guys. Have a good night. And we will see you all next Tuesday. Bye.